You're tuned in to Wrestling with Weight with your hosts, Sam Amato and Mike Body. Podcasting to help you win the biggest match of your life. It's you versus you. Tips, stories, and more from the world of health and professional wrestling. Ring the bell.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Wrestling with Weight podcast. This is episode 5. I am your co-host, Sammy Smiles, alongside my co-host, or I'm his co-host, Mike, the Body. Welcome to the show, people.
What's good, everybody? What's happening out there?
The F are you? What's up,
No,
Mike?
the question is, Sam, how the fuck are you, buddy? Big
Oh,
news
man.
for you today.
Big news.
Some big news you want to share with
recording
everybody?
live from Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital in Boston, Massachusetts. Quick pop. Because my son was born this week.
Awesome. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, brother.
How does it feel to be a two-time? Oh, I said it 3 times, though. Fuck. But two
It's okay.
times.
Can you hear him in the background?
Daddy.
Can you hear him? It's first time making an
I think I
appearance
can
on the
hear
podcast.
some screams.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome my number 2 son, Levi, or if you want to say it kind of bougie, Levi. Sounds real French. We call him Levi or Levi Smooth. He is now one half of the soon-to-be
Amato
WWW
Dynasty.
Tag Team Champions with his older brother, Luca the Lion. Roar. Yeah, man. We're at the
That's
hospital.
awesome, man. You have a whole fucking federation over there.
You know, we're getting ready. I know she's going to be mad, but they're definitely going to be wrestling in the living room. And I will facilitate and I will make sure that they're doing it safely and teaching them early on how to take bumps, how to hold submissions, all that fun stuff. Me and my brothers used to do it, but we really gave it to each other. Did you ever do any backyard wrestling?
Well, are you looking for? I did actually. I had one match. It was probably back in 1998, 1999.
Oh shit!
Big shout out to Nash Travagant. Baby, that's right. I was
Shout out
over there
Nas.
in his backyard back in 98, 99, and I think the one match I had, I don't know who it was with. I just remember we were fighting for like the hardcore championship or whatever it was. I was a bigger boy, obviously. Hence we're doing this podcast, right?
Wrestling with Weight podcast.
I needed 2 guys to suplex me. So I had like a double
Whoa!
suplex
Mhm.
onto a fucking cardboard box.
Yep.
Like
yep.
as a wrestling ring.
I was definitely.
it was just
at one
like
of those
cardboard
shows. I don't know if I was
boxes.
at that one.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you were. It was like off of, if I recall correctly, I think it was off of like Ferry Street.
It definitely
maybe.
was off Ferry Street.
Yeah, dude. It was
Yep.
years ago. We're going
Yes.
back, and it was only one
And
time
he had
I
a
wrestled.
shed out back or a garage out back.
That we came out with the music. I think I actually came out to the DX music. We had like a DX type.
I remember.
Like,
wrestling
I
with a friend
remember that,
Jackson.
man, but
We
it's
called him
so-
Bullet.
There you go. I forget what my name was back then. How many? Do you have a backyard wrestling story?
Oh man! One time, I ran a backyard wrestling promotion at my friend Jeff's house, and it was by the Parlin School. So behind the Parlin, right near Bucci's, where I used to work, there's a parking lot that the Parlin School teachers use. So his house is next to the school. For whatever reason, I don't know if we were trying to make druids or we were doing something Undertaker or even, you know what, better yet, it was probably Gangrel related. But we used the end of a cabbage, like a dry cabbage from his dad's garden. And we put a t-shirt or something on it, and it caught fire. And one of my friends was running around the backyard like it was some sort of Olympic torch.
That's awesome, dude.
They called the firefighters on us. Then
no way.
we had trouble with Miss Libby. Do you remember Miss Libby at the Parlin School?
Miss Libby. She wore a sweatshirt with like 1,000 keys hanging off it. I got a good Miss Libby story for you.
So, I want to make sure I'm referencing the right teacher, but remember there's that one teacher. Was she the one that,
she was on the seventh grade, second floor?
Yes, over in the corner.
No running in the hole.
Yes.
Like something
yes,
like that. I forget.
yeah.
I don't know.
And
She had like white
was
hair.
kind of
like short white hair.
weird, right? She was weird.
She worked at the Hilltop or something.
Oh, for real? Did she work with the special needs kids?
No,
Be serious. I don't
was
remember.
one.
But she was right there at the top of at the staircase, right? And she was always yelling at us. And I regret to inform her that I was aware of a situation where one child, said friend, had been tired of hearing from Miss Libby, and he felt like hazing her. And he put poop on her door handle of her car.
Oh, no, that's fucked up.
So we would watch her open the door, and we would go, ew, because she squished it in her hands, right? Obviously, as grown-ass men, that's terrible. But as kids, that was hilarious.
Oh, hilarious, right?
I didn't do it.
I thought you were going to go like, I challenged her to like a steel cage match or something.
No, she would give us trouble for backyard. She'd say stuff about us backyard wrestling. We tried having a whole promotion, bro. I went to Michael's with my friend Jeff, and we bought like those wood plates that you could use for engraving and carving. We spray painted them. We put on those glued on those wooden letters and stuff. We had this heavy ass belt. It was ugly, but it had a bulldog on it. And I think we called it
like those styrofoam WWF belts back in the day.
Yes. I think we called it like
love those, dude.
Everett Extreme or something stupid. And then we moved on to backyard wrestling in a wrestling ring, and that was at Killer Kowalski's. And we got in trouble once with like the real trainers of Killer Kowalski's. That was an interesting story. One of the guys is in Impact now. His name's Eddie Edwards. Really? Yep. All sorts of weird stuff. But going back to why I've even started talking about this is I'm a dad. Remember, we started because of tag team wrestling.
Me too. Yeah, that's right. How quick that can spiral out of control.
For real? Wrestling fans. So nerdy. Before we go any further with the show, I just wanted to take a second to acknowledge the passing of a local wrestling promoter that goes by the name of Dan Marotti. He ran the Boston Wrestling Federation, or MWF. It was just called Boston Wrestling, and it was the Millennium Wrestling Federation. And I had the opportunity to work for Dan for many years, and he had put me in some of my most memorable matches and really took a chance with me. So I just wanted to take a second to pay respects and send our condolences to the Marotti family. Thanks for everything, Dan. And you definitely will be missed. We'll feel your absence. And it's unfortunate because you had that show coming up in April that we were talking about going to see, that 80s show.
Yeah, definitely. I was actually excited.
You didn't get a chance to meet him, but we were
trying
to work something out for Wrestling with Weight to be there. But it's unfortunate it's not going to take place. So rest in peace, Dan Marotti. Getting back to business here. We were supposed to weigh in.
Let's go back. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, let's bring it back to the weigh-in.
We were supposed to weigh in. We had a snowstorm, and we had some other bullshit excuse, and then I legitimately had a kid.
Yeah,
and that wasn't any bullshit excuse. I'm recording from the
legit
6th floor.
I see a wife in the background. I just noticed that.
She's in the background with my son, and so we're here, and obviously this is going to disrupt my regular flow or regularly scheduled program, and it interrupted our recording because we were trying to get a podcast recorded before he came, and it just got interrupted. Remember, I went to the hospital like Thursday or Friday, and we went home, and then we came back, and that was an interruption. So we're obviously off track a little bit here, but can you tell me a little bit about how your feeding has been? Your grazing, your training? How have you been?
Atrocious. Awful. I've been gaining weight, dude, I think.
Oh, man, I think I have too, for sure.
Like, all kidding aside, I I've had a stressful year. I have had a stressful last year, which I want to talk more about. We can talk more about in a little bit about stress, but it's been a stressful year for me, and that's why my weight fluctuates up and down. And like when I look at myself, I'm fine. Like I'm not like, ew, you're gross. Like I don't like you, this or that. But I just health wise, I know I need to get down to 200. I'm not trying to die here of a heart attack. I need to eat healthier. Like I'm a skinny fat type of way. Like I eat whatever I want, but I know that cheese is coming back to haunt me in my arteries. Yeah. Like it's there, bro. Like I want to,
this shit is scary.
I want to take care of myself. Yeah. I know my dad was dead at 40. I want to take care of myself. I'm tired of the shit, but at the same time, I like to fucking eat.
The struggle is real. You got to find sort of balance. It's not easy.
It's an addiction. It's real.
I would say that.
How about you? How has your eating habits have changed since just being in the hospital? Like you can't meal prep now. You're not meal prepping. You're downstairs in the cafe down there putting down cheeseburgers, I'm sure.
So, funny enough, I have put down a couple of burgers. However,
fuck yeah,
they have been turkey burgers on multi-grain buns with some typical condiments, some slice of cheese, lettuce, tomato, onions, mayo, a little barbecue sauce. I've been eating pretty healthy here, but when I have been kind of on the run, I've been at Dunks, and the Dunks run isn't always fabulous. My coffee is always black, but sometimes I'll get a breakfast sandwich that maybe is not the best. Like I had like a croissant instead of having wheat toast or having oatmeal or something. Just because I'm like, all right, it's 5 a.m. I'm tired. I didn't sleep. Again, going back to stress, we've been waiting on this baby, and just the changes that happen in the household and the responsibilities that you carry as a parent and then becoming a parent again and preparing for what it's like to have 2 kids at the house and whatever other bags that you're carrying. What up?
No, I said like mayhem, dude. Like it's tough. It's a lot of work.
Listen, I'm not
distractions.
I'm not the first dad. I'm not going to be the last dad, right? Yep. I'm not the last parent or the first parent. There's definitely people out there with things that are way more stressful than what I'm going through now. And a lot of these stresses I've put on myself and I'm thankful for, right? But they do sometimes they stack up on you and everybody's tolerance level is going to be different. And I think the mix of stresses is what's going to get you or what's going to get you through, right? So you can know that you've got some temporary stresses, like you have a report due at work, or you have some project you have to finish at work, or you have something that needs to get done and you'll get, as soon as you're done, you're going to feel fine. But then there's that stuff that you have no choice. Like you have to go to work to pay the bills. And like, even if you like work, you have to work because you have bills to pay, right? I don't know anybody that doesn't have any bills to pay. And just the sheer fact of being a parent and having another life that you're responsible for changes the game. Like I didn't realize how stress-free I was until after I became a dad and I started worrying about stuff that I didn't think about before, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. You start thinking about this person. Like, I mean, you want to take care of them. You want to make sure they grow up to succeed. And it's a lot of work, man, when someone's relying on you, when you have mouths that need food, it does. It changes the game. When you're out there providing, hustling, doing whatever you're doing.
What makes stress worse is if you're not taking care of yourself, right? So everybody deals with stress in a different way. And some ways are better for you than others. For example, if you're a person that when you're stressed out, you need some sleep, getting more sleep is probably going to help you kind of let your brain reset and maybe you feel better. Maybe you're somebody who in the best way or in a better way or a way better way, let's throw that in there, is going to train, going for a run. Some people like going to the gym.
Some people like working out. Yeah, exactly.
It's a good stress reliever. Going for a run, great stress reliever. Doing yoga, great stress reliever.
But wait a minute, Sam.
Hold up.
Eating.
Facts.
Eating.
That's where people get tripped up a lot, right? It's not from not going to the
Stuff
gym.
in your face.
It's eating shit.
But some people, though, they stress eat, and other people don't eat at all when they're stressed out.
Right.
And they lose
Which
weight.
either way is
you know,
not really all that healthy.
It's not healthy for you at all.
No. There is.
You might drop
something
that
called
20 pounds quick because you're
fasting,
stressed, but
that's like on
Yeah,
purpose
that's
because
different.
you have some sort of goals in mind, whether it be for a reset. Excuse me, I just bit my tongue. Reset of your body's natural like pattern of healthy function, which a lot of people believe.
well, if you look back to your ancestors, that's how.
Don't
when they
give me
went
that
to go
bullshit.
hunt for food, probably.
Oh, let's go paleo. That's
Let's
how
go
my
all
ancestors
paleo on your
did.
ass.
My ancestors were out there chopping down trees and
Hey,
fighting woolly mammoths to make jackets and make woolly steaks at night. Come on.
eat over the campfire.
I feel like it's a gimmick. You know what's not a gimmick? That fabulous beard
What's
you
that?
got right now.
That's pretty manly.
Yeah, that lumberjack beard.
My Brody Lee beard.
Where's your
almost.
Carhartt and flannel?
It's coming next when we do the video.
He's a man. You remember when Steven Regal was doing that gimmick? Of
A man,
being like a manly man?
a man's man. Yeah, a manly man when he had the construction hat.
So stupid. William Regal's
know.
too good for that stuff. We're talking. It's now March 8th. Did you see that William Regal made his debut at AEW?
Yeah, I saw the clip. I didn't watch Revolution, but I did see the footage online.
Get on that.
Yeah, everyone
Sounds
says
like
it was
it was
a
a good event.
5-star pay-per-view. Yeah, exactly. And I saw that he came out and broke up Mox and Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson.
Yep.
And everyone seems to be for it. Everyone seems to be for this faction that could be
I know,
happening, or a
great.
tag team that could be happening.
Between the two.
And with Regal back, I heard that since Tony Khan obviously bought out Ring of Honor, also another big news
news.
break.
Yeah.
Maybe Regal goes down there and does some NXT-like work and runs that federation. But who knows? We'll see.
I hope they don't run it like NXT. I hope it's just its own brand and like people get the call up without having a name change and without acting like they never existed before. I think that's stupid.
Yes.
That's my own opinion.
Keep it a separate promotion. Just let them run it just with Ring of Honor roots. Like, just keep it there. Like, don't even do anything. Just bring some AEW guys that don't have TV time, maybe.
That's probably what he's going to do because he's got a lot of dudes.
Yeah, bring them over there and then have some original guys and keep some Ring of Honor guys they have now.
Well, I hope he doesn't run it into the ground. That's not what we're talking about here. But congratulations to Tony Khan. You know what that means, too, is that Ring of Honor's tape library that has so much rich history with a lot of big names in pro wrestling, such as AJ Styles, CM Punk, Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan. Those are all guys that made the Ring of Honor name a household name for independent wrestling fans. And so that library is very rich. And so that's going to be good for them as a whole, for a company. But wrestling itself is a way that we could be de-stressing, right? We're reducing our stress by just kind of escaping real life and watching this show.
Just
this
escaping
live
reality.
show.
Yeah.
Right. But going back to eating and how that affects your homeostasis, right? Even just eating poorly is going to affect the way you mentally feel, the way you mentally start thinking. And so they say you are what you eat, right? So if you're eating clean and your body is running clean and healthy and feeling good, drinking plenty of water, then your brain's gonna work better. What are some ways that you kind of manage your stress? How about this? What are some things that have stressed you out? If you don't mind sharing, that's a de-stressor.
A de-stressor. Playing the bass.
Slapping the bass.
Slap.
Slapping the bass.
Slapping the bass. I like to draw. So I'll draw with my son Travis when I'm stressed out.
I like to draw too.
Yeah, drawing's fun. Just doodling, really, and playing the bass, doing the podcast, keeping busy, listening to music, watching movies. Honestly, I'm stressed out all the time over everything I do. It's just how I am. Like I'm stressed out over work, even though I know work's fine. I still stress because I always want everything to be perfect.
I hear you.
Good,
Yeah.
I think sometimes maybe
that's just your standards, right? Your standards are high, so
right.
It's like a self-inflicted stress. It's accountability that you have for yourself.
But there's also stress like bills. Bills keep coming in.
Sucks.
Yeah, that sucks about adulting.
Sucks.
Like it came quick. Midlife came quick, and I wish I listened to what everyone told me when I was younger to fucking pay attention and shit.
Heed thy warning. We definitely weren't heeding the warning.
Dude. Like, remember in high school, everyone's like, these 4 years, they go by quick, and then like, pay attention, do good in school. Like, yeah and no, I get it. It's a new time. You can be a YouTube star. You can be podcast stars. You could do whatever. Nowadays, the game is
really
different.
Gaining that success are still really slim.
100%, I think.
Not to jump off topic, but you still need some skills.
You need skills. You do.
But you're right. Just like as soon as you're either a parent or you're in some sort of job, something already long term, it feels like everything just goes by so damn fast.
Well, yeah, but even like I made bad decisions when I was younger.
Yes, you're not listening to anything that anybody has to say that's beneficial for you.
Dude, I went to trade school.
You can see her like, fucking gone. Right?
I went to trade
third
school.
house, and
You bought your third house
on my yacht. No, I'm talking about the kids who heed thy warnings.
Oh yes, absolutely. No, I know it's crazy, man, to think that. I don't know. Like I said, when midlife stress is stress. Stress is real, though. Everyone deals with it, and everyone deals with it differently. Whether it's like drinking, I'm a recovering alcoholic. You can say, 5 years no booze, or is it 6 now? I'm going on 6.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nothing to sneeze
at. No, it's not. But I also took accountability. Like I knew I was a scumbag or a shithead when I drank, or I felt that way. Like I knew I wasn't a good person, so. It was time to make changes. Like I didn't like who I was when I drank. And everyone can tell you, hey, dude, you need to change. But until that person wants to change, maybe they
It's just
won't.
not going to happen. It's just going to stay the same. Like how many times do you think you're telling or I'm telling people about what they should be and what they shouldn't be eating? Right? That's not even necessarily like my job. My job is to counsel, right? But I'm not a nutritionist, so I'm not giving out nutritional guidance. I am suggesting that you take a very good look at your diet because that's going to affect the way you feel. That's going to affect your success. It's going to affect your ability to achieve your health and wellness goals. And so if that's not something that's important to you, great. If that's something that's important to you, it needs to be important to you every day and not just when you're feeling guilty about eating shit. Trying to get us back on topic, you said some of the ways that you de-stress are drawing with your son, playing guitar, this podcast. I'm sure your dog is a good stress reliever.
Yeah.
And I imagine that you talk to your wife.
Just going for walks.
Yeah.
Like right there, man. That's everything. And my Ma Dukes. I'm a mama's boy.
Oh,
shout out to my
adorable.
Dukes.
Hello, Mom. I would say that a good stress reliever for me too is just being with my family, as stressful as they can also be.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. When you spend 24/7 with somebody, of course it's tough, but You're gonna have differences, but that's like marriage is a work too. Like everything else, man.
Yeah, dude.
It's work. It's a job.
Yeah. You can't just float. Like just floating through life sounds good.
You got to give 100%.
Like, do you really just want float? So then you can go
like
play
float
about
sounds
shit
chill.
you didn't get in your life because you didn't do the work.
Right. But here's another question: if you were born into money, would you float through?
Having money doesn't mean you're happy.
No, but it would relieve a lot of my stress. And we're talking about
It sure
stress
would.
right now,
It
bro.
would improve stress.
We're talking about stress.
But
I'd be
stress
stress free.
your stresses might be different. Maybe you don't
How
have
much
money
is stress?
because you're a tool. Right? Maybe you're just a tool because you think you have money and you can treat people a certain way and nobody likes you.
Right. 100%, man. So what's the answer? What's the balance? What's the middle ground?
I don't think there's a straight answer because everybody's situation is going to be different. What I think is important is that you pay attention to yourself. You find the things that work for you. You find the things that cause stress and try to alleviate them. If it's something like, obviously, there's real life shit that we can't just get rid of. Like if somebody's sick in your family or, you're having some sort of financial troubles, you can't just avoid that stuff. This is real stuff. But if you can avoid drama on social media, if you can, avoid being late with your bills because you have ADHD and you should just schedule your payments so everything's on time.
You should schedule it automatically.
Yes, that's a good way for you to relieve some stress.
Yeah, dude. But what the problem is though? My credit card number, I got this thing in the mail saying my credit card was used insufficiently or something, so they had to change my card. But now I got to go back and change my card and
Most
everything.
obnoxious shit ever.
Yeah, that's gonna take forever. I'm not looking forward to that at all.
All right, so
I know. Side note, yeah.
Yeah, right. It's just the battles of ADHD and stoners.
Well,
Yep,
it's the battle
I'm
of
referring to
stress
you.
too. I'm stressed out over that,
I'm the
dude. I'm
ADHD
fucking
guy.
stressed. Who's the stoner?
Stupid. We'll leave that up in the air. All right, so we want to ask you, the listeners, what are some ways that you relieve stress? What are some ways that you deal with your stress? What are some things that stress you out? We want to hear, we want to share, because sharing is caring. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about our favorite finishing moves. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Farrah the Exterminator here. I'm a local Boston-based pest control company, female-owned and operated. We do it all, commercial, residential. You got insects, you've got rodents. Call us, 617-816-5004. We just don't kill people. Check us out at theexterminator.com. That's extherminator.com.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Patrick Dillon, and I'm currently running for the mayor of South Boston, which is a fundraiser event benefiting the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Every dollar raised is counted as a vote. Please consider donating to my campaign and make me the mayor of South Boston.
You're listening to Wrestling with Weight. Now back to your hosts, Sam Amato and Mike Body.
Welcome back to the Wrestling with Weight podcast. It's your boy Sammy Smiles alongside Mike the Body. And right now we're going to do a segment on pro wrestling. That's right. We're getting in the ring and we want to tell you our top 5 favorite finishing moves. Now Mike and I made up our lists and we have not shared with one another who is on our list. Is that correct, Mike?
That's right. So it's going to be fun to see who you had on your top 5 for finishes today. So it's very exciting because I got to go back and really think about who did something well, who executed something well. It was nice to go back and just check everything out, in my head, replay it again.
Cool. So Why don't you get us started? You can share your top 5. Give us a little reason on why, maybe for each one if you have something. And then I will share mine, and we'll see how many we kind of shared.
Okay.
Right? Like, because I assume there's going to be at least 1 or 2 that you and I are going to both say phenomenal finishing move. Right?
I'd say
on our top 5 list. And again, this list isn't in any particular order, right?
No particular order at all. So to start things off, I guess I'm going to go Macho Man Randy Savage, the flying elbow off the top.
Flying elbow drop, flying off the top rope, pin him 1, 2, 3. That's the worst macho shit ever, but absolutely, what a great finish.
Yeah.
His always looks so tight, stiff.
Always jumped off, got some height, and always executed well. But nowadays, a lot of wrestlers do that also. So that can go on to something who did the best. But Macho Man Randy Savage for me. Next
That was
on
a good
the
choice.
list. Yeah, thanks, man. Next on the list, I have Jake the Snake Roberts, the DDT.
The DDT, okay.
I know it's overplayed, obviously, in today's wrestling. And I'm a big fan of the DDT. But the way Jake the Snake pulls it off, he snapped it real quick. Excellence. Following up on this list, I have for a submission, I have Bret Hart, the sharpshooter. The sharpshooter, man, the way Bret Hart executed it, he sold it for me. He leaned back in it,
That was a great choice. I was never a big Bret Hart fan. You already know. I'm different. It's different for me now. I'm a little older, so I appreciate him. And you're absolutely right. That Bret sharpshooter was better than everybody else's sharpshooter.
Oh my God, dude! He leaned. He pulled the knees back.
Yeah.
He had the expression on his face. Bret Hart, yeah, he was a little whiny. Possibly, I don't know him,
Whatever, dude.
but you know what?
He was a great worker, man.
Great worker.
Hands down,
Great
one of the best.
worker. Sold it. So that was for my submission finisher. Because that's actually another conversation one day is what was more exciting, submission finishes or the 3 count, So that'll be something to look forward to in the future. To round things off here, I got the jackhammer from Goldberg, dude.
Wow.
I'm not a big Goldberg fan at all. I thought he ripped off Austin, obviously, during the Attitude Era.
Yep. I don't agree with you, but that's a conversation for another day.
Exactly. That's fine. Awesome. But the jackhammer in general, to see Goldberg be able to pick those wrestlers up, like Hugh Morris, I think that was his first one he ever did, I think, and lifted him up. And
Hugh Morris was great, too. Underrated.
Yeah. But to show that off.
Jackhammer's phenomenal.
Jackhammered into the pin, too.
Did you just send me a video today? Someone sent me a video today of Goldberg jackhammering Rosie like 20 years ago. And Rosie at the time was like 400 pounds.
I just saw that, too.
Yeah. Was it you that sent it to me? Or did I send it to you?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I sent it to you for the website. I mean, for the Instagram page.
I think so.
But
did I not post it?
I don't know, dude. But he was a strong MFer.
Yeah, 100%. And top things off on the top 5 for me, Sam, I got Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Stunner.
What?
Why? Because
What?
it ended every Monday Night Raw, dude. It was the best. You could pull it off out of nowhere. So I'm sorry, Stone Cold Steve Austin was the fucking best.
Love it. Phenomenal list.
Thanks, buddy.
I don't think we had one in common.
Really? I don't know why, but I'm excited about that.
So,
I think that's more exciting than
I'm
you
gonna
having
tell you
3 of them.
I'm going to tell you the one that I thought we were going to have in common. I'll just start with that.
Okay.
The Tombstone.
Okay.
I thought that maybe the Tombstone was going to be on your list.
I love the move. I do, but
That Tombstone,
Yeah.
it was a wrap, dude. You'd
I
come
know.
down on your head. He'd fold your arms across your chest, whip the hair back, and his eyes were in the back of his head. It was a wrap.
That's a great choice, dude. It really is.
And not often did you see people kick out of it. Obviously, in those big matches with Shawn Michaels and Triple H, and you're going these long-winded matches where they're kicking out of 2, 3.
Just fifth
Tombstones.
tombstone. He's kicked
And
out
you're
again.
like, what? Okay, but I get it. We're telling a story here. The
Right.
Tombstone was always,
When Taker first came in,
The
that
finish.
was it.
It was a
It
wrap.
was done.
and he had the dopest move list, anyways, right? But I was a fan of that flying clothesline that he did, the flip, the flying lariat clothesline, if you will, the choke slam, the tightrope walk, the leg drop. He had so many great moves. That uppercut, I loved that uppercut.
Yep.
But the Tombstone just sealed the deal. So that's one that I thought we were going to
Awesome.
have
Yeah,
in
no,
common
honestly,
and we didn't have.
yeah.
All right. having heard your list, it makes me realize that I like impact. So impact over submission. We were just talking about, you just mentioned what you think is best, right? Submissions are always great. Submissions look real, but impact makes you go, wow.
Yep.
So, 5-star frog splash by RVD. Always looked devastating.
Oh.
He would give you that 5-star, and then his whole body would flip over itself, and then he'd go back and finish you. Like pin you. I always thought his frog splash was one of the best.
100%. And you know what, though? Actually, my top 5, I was going to put Eddie Guerrero's frog splash.
He had a great frog splash, too.
Yeah, because the frog splash could be another conversation.
Yeah.
We can actually have.
One of my favorite moves, too. Also one of my favorite moves.
Yeah.
But
Latino
RVD,
heat.
I was a big fan of ECW. RVD's frog splashes on the ECW ring always sounded devastating. It had a different sound. The ring had a different sound. The WWE ring, the WCW ring, if you watch wrestling, you know what I'm talking about. The ring just sounds different.
Yeah.
The way you bump, the way you take the buckle, everything. So, RVD. Next, I think is probably going to be an obvious one for me, is the Rikishi driver by Rikishi.
Okay, awesome.
Again, impact. That looks so goddamn devastating when he dropped you on your head. It was a wrap.
Yeah.
Guess what? One of my favorites.
There you go.
Right?
Man.
Just, he was a big man, but he protected you. But the way you came down on your head just looked like he just murdered you.
Yeah. Devastating.
Yes. This is probably also not going to be a surprise. Another high impact move from the Anoa'i family, the Bonsai Drop.
Love it. A
By
high
Yokozuna?
impact, dude. You're done. You're toast.
Dude, I've seen him
That's it.
kill people.
Kill people, man. He really
You ever
likes.
seen the one where he slipped and he basically crushed the guy?
Oh my god.
His foot slipped from underneath him, and the guy freaking ate it. He ate the whole thing. I'm going to send you
all
that.
565 pounds.
Jesus, bro. Stiff. That was a finisher for me.
Yeah.
There's no way you're getting up from that.
Just seeing how he sold. Obviously, he probably how much of it he really sold, I don't know. But walking up to the second rope, it took him a second. He was a big man, so it was like, oh shit, what the fuck's happening here? And
He's
then you
not
see
really going up there.
What?
He's not really coming down.
Yeah, you know,
Amazing.
Yeah,
That was, dude.
Devastating.
There's no way you were going to get up off of that.
yeah. He was
That was believable.
I felt bad for like the local jobber that had the match that night.
Always ate shit. Ate shit. All right. Before I give you my last one, I have an honorable mention.
Okay.
Submissions.
Okay.
Chris Jericho's Wall of Jericho.
Okay,
Walls
yeah.
of Jericho.
Yeah.
I always liked it.
Yeah.
He always oversold his face. Yeah. His mouth was always wide open. He was always leaning back, and he got you up on your chest so you're folded back like a scorpion. Yeah. I always thought that looked really good. I was a big fan of Chris Jericho in WCW. And then when he came over to WWE, he's a guy who's got longevity, and he's not really using the Walls of Jericho much these days. But it was a move. Again, he's another guy with an awesome move.
When
set.
he does go for it now sometimes and he teases it, the crowd still pops. They know what it is. So it's something that he always just has right there, you know?
And you might be surprised. I'm going to throw this in there randomly right now because he's not on my list. Honorable mention, the Rock Bottom. But he didn't make the list.
Yep. No, I liked it, but I mean, Booker T had it too. The bookend.
Right.
Good finisher. I didn't
Yeah.
mind it, you know?
As much of a fan as I am of The Rock, there wasn't a lot of stuff that The Rock did that made me want to wrestle like him.
Right.
I never wanted his moveset.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you do like the people's elbow with your friends because it was cool.
It was fun,
you know.
dude.
But there was nothing about his moveset. Maybe the Samoan drop, but that's not his. Right? I always was a big fan of the way he sold.
Yeah.
Everything was over animated. I was always a big fan of his promo skills.
Right.
His ability to put other people over or make people laugh. And he just always came to the ring with a presence. And he had always had great energy. But the Rock Bottom is honorable. It didn't make the list. My final is for a future Hall of Famer, current WWE star, who's been there longer than anybody else, RKO. Randy Orton's RKO.
Okay.
Always looked devastating. And I'm a big fan of the surprise RKOs when they find unique ways to go right into the RKO without you being able to call it, whether it be with AJ Styles, whether it was with like Kofi Kingston or any of those mid-card cruiserweight guys that can move. When they're doing a spot, There was that one time where Evan Bourne did his moonsault, or his
He flipped the
his shooting
360.
star press,
Yep.
and he turned it into an RKO.
Incredible.
All
The
those
timing.
ways that he's
The
been able to come in.
timing,
Dolph
yeah.
Ziggler, I'm a big fan of Dolph Ziggler, and I feel like he's done a million different ways with Dolph Ziggler. But RKO itself, fast, boom,
Yep.
you're done.
But you know what, though? As much as I love Randy Orton's, obviously Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah.
When he had it, though, back in the 90s, dude, the place exploded
you're
after
absolutely right.
he nailed
Absolutely
it.
right.
But it was awesome. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Randy Orton's, too.
What are some others that came to mind but didn't make your list?
The Razor's Edge.
Yep.
I always was
thought of Mike Awesome,
fascinated.
actually,
Did you?
which
Yeah.
is kind of similar.
Well, he had like a
the
power
Awesome
bomb. The awesome bomb.
Right? So, and sometimes it came out, he would power bomb Masato Tanaka from that Razor's Edge position a lot.
Okay. Yeah, who else came to mind for me? Let me think off the top of my head real quick here.
I thought of Ric Flair. I thought of the figure four.
You had to have
and
enough
it was
submission.
like, whatever. You know, it didn't really make my list. You just want to woo when he, cinches it in.
Those chops.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I thought, obviously, I thought of Shawn Michaels. I thought maybe Shawn Michaels was going to be on your list. That's Sweet Chin Music.
yeah,
He always
Super
had a
Kick's always
really
done.
good Sweet Chin Music. And I don't know if you remember, Tajiri had, it wasn't really his finish, but it was kind of his finish. It was that tarantula it was the submission where he put you over the ropes and then he
The
put you in
tarantula
that
over the rope. Yeah,
the
it
submission.
submits you.
And I thought that was a dope move too.
But technically, aren't you on the ropes?
Yeah, so it's not a submission. It's just a move
It was just a
before
move.
the move.
Got you.
right?
But
Really
another-
quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
When we were talking about this, I went back to see if there's any lists made up.
Yeah.
And I found one that Fox Sports put out back in 2016. And they have a top 25, and they had some honorable mentions and some that they buried.
Okay.
Did you want to hear anything about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Honorable mentions. They brought up the Scorpion Deathlock, and the Brainbuster, and the Shooting Star Press. They talked about Bray Wyatt's Abigail. They talked about Big Show's version of the Chokeslam or the Torture Rack. Those are some honorable mentions. They didn't make the list. Dishonorable mentions. Take a wild guess who got buried.
Ooh. Hulk Hogan.
Boom!
Yeah.
That leg drop. It was just unimpressive. So they
'Cause
put that on the
He was all about the
dishonorable
arms,
list.
the pythons. And then he uses his legs as a finisher.
That was good. Very good. I'm not surprised. At the same time, I am surprised that you caught that. So top 5 or top 25. I'm going to go through super fast without any conversation in between. Maybe if you have a comment, we'll save it till the end. 25, the Mandible Claw. Good choice. 24, Styles Clash by AJ Styles. 23, the Spear by Roman Reigns, Goldberg, and Edge. They didn't mention Goldberg. I'm sorry. They didn't mention Brock or brain fart. Moving on. The Blue Thunder Bomb by Sami Zayn. That was number 22. The Hurricane Rana, they brought up Rey Mysterio. The Ankle Lock by Ken Shamrock and Kurt Angle.
Okay.
It was a good submission move. The Attitude Adjustment, which I always thought was a pretty solid move by John Cena.
Yeah.
You can't see me. Number 18 on the list, they bring up Vader and Charlotte because they do a moonsault, and Vader always had a scary-looking moonsault. I always thought he was going to fall on his face.
Yep.
Figure 4 leg lock came in at 17. They mentioned Ric Flair, Charlotte Flair, and it looks like The Miz there. 16 is the Walls of Jericho or the Lion Tamer. 15 is Sasha Banks' bank statement. 14 is Goldberg's Jackhammer.
Yeah.
13 is Dirty Deeds, the DDT by Dean Ambrose or Moxley, which he has a really nice DDT.
Oh, yeah. Double arm.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
The F5 by
Brock
Lesnar. The Sharpshooter, when they mention, obviously, Bret Hart, Sting, and Talia, because they call it Sharpshooter and the Scorpion Deathlock.
Okay.
The Frog Splash, they mention Eddie Guerrero,
Okay.
RVD. The Pedigree, which is also a very good finisher that deserves an honorable
Triple
mention.
H,
He's
Seth Rollins.
pedigreed everybody.
Yeah.
The Flying Elbow Drop came in at number 8, which was your Randy Savage choice. The Rock and Booker T came in at 7 with the Rock Bottom. Again, it deserves an honorable mention.
Yeah.
It's not the most devastating finisher. The Jackknife Powerbomb by Kevin Nash, which was always
Yeah.
scary looking. Tombstone came in at number 5.
Okay.
The Razor's Edge came in at number 4.
Okay.
RKO or the Diamond Cutter, they were talking about Randy Orton and Diamond Dallas Page, like you mentioned, came in at number 3. Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin Music came in at number 1. And
Number 2. And number
I'm
1.
sorry, number 2
would be Stone Cold.
And number 1 is Stone Cold Stunner.
100%. The Stunner is
So,
number 1.
One other move that I liked that nobody really remembers, maybe because he was kind of a mid-card guy, was
this?
Mark Marrow. He had the
fourth
TKO.
Oh, a TKO, yeah,
which
yeah.
was the spinning diamond cutter.
Yes,
I
put
thought
you
that
over your
shit was
shoulders
dope.
first
Yeah.
and then twisted you.
Those are some of the moves that I always picked up.
Dude, how
I
about
love
the
those impact
perfect
moves.
plex?
Beautiful.
Oh my God,
Beautiful.
into the pin. I used to love when Mr. Perfect did that.
Finishing moves don't belong in every single match, but they sure are important. And when you think about character development and you think about video games and you think about characters, you want people to know that they have a signature move. So I thought that was brilliant that WWE in particular does this, where each guy has their move set. They have 5 or 6 moves that nobody else can touch, right? And then there's some moves that are in there, like you said, the DDT or the super kick, that are like interchangeable from person to person.
Yeah.
And depending on who the person is, it's more devastating, right? So if Shawn Michaels is going to super kick you, you're going to eat it and you're out. But if a mid-card guy, maybe like a Dolph Ziggler, you're going to eat it and maybe you'll take a bump to the outside.
Yeah.
So finishing moves don't belong in every single match, but they are important for the match. They are important for
For the
character
character,
development.
yes.
Yeah. Obviously, tombstones, rock bottoms, stone cold stunners, those names are cool, but those come later. They come after the moves have been made. And again, it's about delivery, right?
Yeah.
It's about delivery. That one DDT could look like shit because you didn't put any delivery behind it.
And it's honestly the sell too.
Yes.
I mean, who's
Yes.
on the other end doing,
Right.
giving you that sell? I mean, some people, and it's funny going back, looking at some sells like Razor Ramon's
Yes.
from like Stone Cold.
When he was taking the Stone Cold Stunner, yeah.
He
And The Rock
bounces.
would do the same thing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
looking back now,
Oversold
hilarious, hilarious.
I always thought Shawn Michaels was great at selling too, and any of those moves. But that was our top 5. So again, Mike, what were your top 5?
My top 5 again was the Stone Cold Stunner, the Jackhammer, the Sharpshooter. I had the DDT by Jake Roberts and the Flying Elbow Drop by Macho Man Randy Savage.
Awesome. You couldn't sound more Boston. And your top
Yeah.
5 from Sam were, Sam being me, I'm sounding like The Rock now. The RVD, 5-star Frog Splash, the Rikishi Driver, the RKO, Tombstone, and the Bonsai Drop in no particular order. That was fun.
That was fun. And a shout out to my buddies Chris and Derek because I had a conversation with them. They were over a couple nights ago and we were talking about this. So they
Yeah.
kind of made my
What were
mind.
their finishers? Or their favorite finishers? Did they have one?
So, oh yeah, they're diehard. Derek loves Lex Luger. Big Lex Luger
Flexi
fan.
Lexi?
The biggest,
The
dude.
Torture Rack?
The Torture Rack. And Chris grew up a big Sting fan. Loved him. Diehard Sting fan.
So was it the Stinger Splash or was it the
He loves it
the
all.
Scorpion Deathlock?
The Scorpion Death Lock, I think. Yeah, he loved the Scorpion Death Drop.
Yep.
Remember when he had him like,
yeah.
remember the Scorpion
It's
Death
like
Drop?
it's like what Gold Dust's move is like, right? Shattered Dreams.
Yeah,
Is that the
yeah,
same thing?
yeah.
Yeah, Goldust was a
He
good
holds him,
finisher,
then
too.
just like drops him
Yeah.
down. But yeah, shout out to them. They really helped out. And
Torture Rack is a good one because that looks devastating.
Oh yeah, it's awesome, and it fits him perfectly.
Do you have a top 5 list that you want to share with us? We want to hear your top 5 favorite finishing moves. We're going to post this on Instagram. This particular segment, we're going to post just a little clip on Instagram and see if we can get you guys to participate.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in, and congrats to my man Sammy Smiles on being a two-time father.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Also, I want to take a second just to give a quick shout out to all the members and anyone who's walked through the doors at Way Better You in Everett. We just celebrated our 1-year anniversary at our new facility. So I'm super proud.
Congrats.
And thank you, sir. And I'm super excited to continue the journey with the rest of you and see where we go with this.
Yeah, no, that's exciting, man. Congrats to you.
Thanks,
year,
man.
that's a big accomplishment.
Yeah.
You're welcome. And for everyone else, please like us on our Instagram page, our Facebook, follow our YouTube, follow everything. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, guys.
We'll talk to
See
you
you
next
soon.
time.
Peace.